Kip Sabian, who said on All Out that he's going to unveil his best man for his wedding to Penelope Ford on Wednesday's Dynamite. He came out, he brought out a few people, brought out like a sort of joke guy called Ruff, I think his name was.
Puff?
Puff?
Something like that.
He came out, and then Brian Pillman Jr. came out, and Kip was like, whoa, I said no. I said, you're the best, man. You're not the best, man. I don't like you. So that was funny. It was good comedy stuff. Kip Sabian's really good. But then he said, no, here's the best man. And who should walk out of the bloody babyface entrance? I think it was the babyface entrance. But Miro. Twitch's own Miro, also kind of known for his time in WWE. So weird storyline to debut in. A strange, I guess not a strange time because it's post All Out. This whole episode, this whole next couple of months is like the new season of AEW. Here's a few new characters. Here's a few new directions for people, new feuds, new storylines. And this is one of them. It's Rusev coming over to AEW in what seems to be a lower mid-card story.
Yeah, it's a bit of a strange debut. But I really enjoyed seeing him for starters. Just he, like you mentioned in your edited review, he's got such an infectious personality. And him coming out, he was beaming from ear to ear. People started chanting Miro Day, and he was like egging him on doing it. I was like, man, it's just really good to see you. Rusev was one of my favorite wrestlers in WWE. I loved him so much. I thought he was so underused, and I was always one of the guys being like, please push Rusev, he's really great. So seeing Miro now in AEW, I really hope he gets something good. The best man seems to be his name in AEW. He is the best man, Miro. That's not just like, he's not just Kip Sabian's best man, because like the best man was on like the Titantron and things like that, which I think is an okay wrestling nickname. That's okay. The best man, Miro. That's fine. Debuting him as an actual best man, though, to Kip Sabian, I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like it's not retreading of old ground, because I don't think they're going to do the Lana wedding again somehow. I think they were openly poking fun at that sort of angle. I don't think they're going to replicate those sort of mistakes. But I do wonder where it's going to be going with him doing that, because Kip Sabian, as much as I love him, he's not been presented all that well on Dynamite, and him being the best man to him feels a bit lower than he should be. And as someone who's been brought in to be like, F you WWE, I'm now in the better wrestling company, I'm going to be treated properly and all that stuff, and for him to debut as this kind of mid to lower mid card act feels a bit of more samey position of where he was in WWE, which feels a bit off.
Yeah, I agree. I think overall, the big thing to take away, folks, and us, these are our feelings. I'm pretty sure I'm speaking for you as well, Chops, in that we're so happy that Rusev, Miro now, going to have to get used to that, is back into wrestling. He said just last month that he's retired. He's just going to focus on being a content creator on YouTube and Twitch now, which was, I kind of believed him, because he didn't show up at Slammiversary, he didn't show up at All Out in the Casino Battle Royale. Maybe he's quite content to just sit back and play his video games, because he seems to be very good at that and enjoying it a lot. And, you know, it's a new outlet for his creativity. So I'm really, really happy that Miro is in AEW. And as soon as he walked out there, like you said, you can't unlike the guy. It's crazy to think that he used to be this Russian, Bulgarian brute monster character. You know, before he started cracking the smile and doing all the little funny jokes, he was this kind of, not generic because he did it really well, but a foreign heel. That was his role. But he's actually so much more than that. I'm not sure how the sort of bleached head, short hair cropped on top, the look that is. But it was so nice to see him. And it was like an instant connection. I'm into him as a babyface. But yeah, it is weird that they've debuted him in this way. My only thought is that it's going to be something that resolves itself quite quickly. You know, this is like Rusev's introductory story. He'll turn on Kip Sabian in a babyface manner a few weeks in. and then go on to something else. It's odd because there were so many creative things you could do for when Miro eventually turns up somewhere. We were sort of fantasy booking last week that you'd hear the and you bring him in with Aiden English. I know that is retreading old stuff, but they were a hugely popular act. That there are, of all the things to retread from WWE, I would not be against that pairing. But yeah, this definitely felt more on the Matt Cardona scale of defections than the Brody Lee side, which got video packages, a months-long storyline, his own faction. This is essentially playing second fiddle to an undercard guy. But that might be the point. It might be a Diesel scenario or a Drew McIntyre scenario, to use a more up-to-date Dogs of War reference.
Yeah, and hopefully it doesn't take quite as long as Drew McIntyre with the Dogs of War and all that stuff, because that was about 2 years being kind of second fiddle to someone else before he came out on top. So hopefully Miro can just kind of shed, not that Kip Sabian's bad by any means, but I do feel like him debuting in this way, he should be treated as a proper threat, a proper guy to go there, and not just like a comedy act, although I'm sure he would be great at comedy. I think he's probably going to be more inclined to be a bit more of a serious wrestler, especially because he came out and he cut quite a serious line towards WWE saying, you can take that brass ring and you can shove it up your ass, as him just saying, screw you, I'm in a better wrestling company now. My name's Miro, I'm all elite. So it seems like he's taking it seriously. He's not just there to mess around the whole time and be handsome. He's so handsome. Yes. Yeah, I'm quietly, hopefully optimistic. God, my brain. I'm quietly optimistic that this will just be a short-time thing. He'll kind of shed the weight of Kip Sabian. That sounds really mean to Kip Sabian, and I don't mean it to be. But then he can go on to bigger and better things, because I think this is quite a low to mid card story, and I don't want him to be hanging around there for too long.
But hey, trust in AEW at the same time. That there is definitely a reality where a Miro, Kip Sabian, Penelope Ford faction is amazing.
Totally, yeah.
Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford are fantastic. Miro is fantastic. Maybe this is just like an odd couple group that we never knew we wanted. They're all talented, creative people. I'm sure they can get themselves over. I
mean, just like Aiden English and Rusev. That was a pairing that they just put together and just worked.
Whoa, I didn't even... my mind was so hung up on the wedding parallels with WWE. I didn't actually see the other parallel of Rusev, Miro, is now the Aiden English here to Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford's marriage.
Yeah.